Guys, welcome to Tuesday of our group. I want to just say that you will probably rarely see me showered this month. It'll happen right before I go to bed. And so I want to apologize for my scraggly scruffiness, but this wouldn't get done if I had to clean myself up. So anyway, what I want to talk about today is the role that exercise plays in your life and give you some things to be thinking about. I posted this question yesterday in the challenge tracker as well as in the Facebook group, and I'm doubling up on everything because some people don't have Facebook that are in this group, and so I want to make sure that they're getting everything as well. Every video that I do in here, I will be uploading onto YouTube on my channel, which is Kelly Amos, on my YouTube channel, and there's a specific playlist for our group. So if you ever want to just go somewhere where they all are there, that's where they are. Although there is a lag between when I'll do my live here and when I will upload into my YouTube channel, because it takes a little bit of time, and I don't always have the time right when I'm done with this. So there's a little lag there, and then I post the link in my challenge tracker to the YouTube. So there's lots of different moving parts here, but you can find everything in multiple places. But what I want to talk about is the role that exercise plays in your life. And I've posted this question on my Facebook my page before, and it's something that when you are first, if we can look back, and the role that exercise plays in your life is very cyclical. Hi Suzanne, it can be cyclical, it can be seasonal, it can be situational, but the more that you are connected to the role that it's playing in your life right now, and appreciate that it's going to vary, it's going to be different, and that's okay. That's what is going to help you to gain consistency and not have an all or nothing mindset when it comes to your exercise and what you're doing. I'm going to be 51 in less than 2 months, and I remember when I've gone through a lot of stages. I was an exercise addict. First, I didn't exercise regularly. I was an athlete, but when I was growing up, we didn't have club sports. It wasn't year round, and there was no conditioning or training or anything. Not that there is that much for girls around here anyway, but the boys do. So learning exercise as a healthy thing or for performance, I didn't really learn that consistency. The consistency came from me when I was in college, and it started with exercise. I was literally forced by choice, because I had a woman who, my mentor, and she believed in me, and she said I should teach these classes, these group fitness classes, and I had no right to be teaching them. But I was a good soldier, and I said, okay. And because I had to teach, I had to exercise 4 days a week for the whole semester. And so I started to see changes in my body, and that's what led into the nutrition side. I didn't want to, I was starting to like that I had definition in my arms and that my pants were feeling a little bit better. And that gave me confidence. And that's what I really lacked, was self-confidence. And I had incredibly low self-esteem. I had a lot of bad stuff going on in my head. And so exercise was the thing that honestly saved my life. And at the age of 21, 22. And then, so the eating started to come in. I didn't want to eat as much pizza, and I wanted to just try to, figure out what healthier choices were, because I didn't want to sabotage the hard work that I had done. And I was really starting to see the cause and effect, that when I was not exercising, I didn't feel very well, and I would go back into my kind of dark places. And so I saw that was more of a benefit, and so I became an exercise addict, and it was something that our lives, my life and my husband's life, revolved around my exercise. And I took it to an extreme in that my mentality was, this is a form of punishment that I can inflict on myself, and I can endure it as long as I want, and I am choosing it. I'm choosing this pain and suffering. And I know that sounds weird, but that's just that's what I was a very I had a lot of abandonment and self-esteem issues, and so I wasn't. So that's what I did. That's how I got through it, and I could go through this pain and suffering, but the after effects were positive. You know, I had more confidence, I had more energy. I didn't have my temper. It was a real, there was a real chemical balance that I found through it. So my transformation, yes, I had the freshman 15, and I did not have a healthy lifestyle, and my body showed it. But when I was in college, but it wasn't. So I do have a physical transformation, I guess, but it's not extreme. And it was more, if you could see inside my head, it was a psychological transformation. And so that's really where my passion comes from, and that's one of the reasons that I have a private practice and focus more on behavior change and how that can how nutrition and exercise and behavior matters. So I'm sprinkling a little bit of that in with you guys. And honestly, if any of you feel like you would like more of that, then don't hesitate to talk to me about getting more into what I do as far as my career, my private practice. So what I want to talk about is with the role. So that if we look back, and again, depending on how long you've been a regular exerciser, or maybe you never have, whatever kind of history or experiences that you can draw from it. So it may have been, first for me, it was the psychological side and building confidence. And then having babies, it was something that I was still an exercise addict when I got pregnant. And I don't know if I've shared this with you, but the fact that I did get pregnant because I was amenorrheic, my body was not in a place to get pregnant. My children are absolute blessings from God. They are gifts, and not that they wouldn't have been anyway, but they were extra special because my body just wasn't in a place where it was healthy to have a baby, or preparing itself to have a baby. So with my son, I thought I was strong. So I literally told my doctor, just bring your mix, I'm shooting this sucker right out. And I was in labor with him for 47 and a half hours. So that kind of changed my mindset as far as when I was pregnant with my daughter. It was more about endurance, and I needed to be able to endure a long time of throwing up and pain and suffering, and just going through the whole thing. Hers was significantly shorter, but when you have different situations to draw on, it's you have things that will get you through and help you to make decisions. And that's again, one of the things that will, as far as consistency and seeing your obstacles, taking from your past, knowing who you are and what your goals are, and what environments and things, what are you capable of doing, and what do you feel like, I'm just not ready for that. Those are so important as far as figuring out that consistency, as well as recognizing what role does exercise play in my life now. As I got older, certainly weight maintenance. I would say in my late 20s and after having kids, it was more about I need to stay in shape, and I need to keep up with my kids and whatever. So I would say that there was more of an aesthetic side to my exercise, but also I still had that addictive mentality. Then as I got, when I was, let's see, probably 10 years ago, I got melanoma on my arm, and I have a scar here. I need to go the other direction. So I have a scar right here, and I had melanoma in situ, but my aunt died when she was, I think, 31 of melanoma, one of my dad's sisters, and his other two sisters are both passed now. One had Hodgkin's disease, and then she was cured from that, and then she had breast cancer, and she had a lumpectomy, and she was okay from that, and then she got brain cancer and died. And his other sister had breast cancer and had a full mastectomy, and then she had melanoma, but she got it in time like I did. And then she eventually died of another form of cancer. My grandmother had rectal cancer, and so there's all this cancer in my family, and so my mentality really changed to being more of proactive and preventative. And that probably happened in my later 30s of I am scared. There's a lot of cancer in my family and I'm afraid. And so my eating and my, as well as my husband having cancer, my eating and my exercise, I'm on the proactive prevention uh, mentality, mindset, plan. Because of my amenorrhea, my hormones are kind of whacked. So there are certain types of training and food that I do that help me balance my hormones. And I really think, I mean, not that I don't still have hormonal challenges. Those of you that know me well know, because I complain about them a lot. But the thing is, I just think, how much worse would I be? I mean, if I didn't do what I do, how much worse would it be? So we have to accept that as well. It can't be an all or nothing because things aren't changing. But what if I didn't do this? I know the benefits of exercise. I know the benefits of eating healthy foods and making good choices. I know that. So whether or not you're doing everything that you want to do or you're going really big, because you're going to see people posting in the challenge tracker. You're going to see people posting a bunch of stuff and all these different intense types of training and things and all this really kind of high level. And that doesn't mean that's what you have to do, but you have to be connected with what role is exercise and proper nutrition playing in my life right now. What do I need? And again, it can change. My mom, I'm going to cry. We were in Denver this weekend and my mom had a stroke, just a mini stroke, and she's okay. They actually, but it's scary. And she's going to be 73 in December, and her brother, who's a year younger, has been having mini strokes for a few years now. And so now, it was just, this is in my face again. Here's my dad's side of the family was cancer and stuff and Alzheimer's, and now my mom's side of the family is, they got heart stuff and they have high blood pressure and I don't have those things, but it's still, do I not have those because of my lifestyle? When my husband was diagnosed with cancer in 2013, it was something that hit me really hard because I was expecting it to be me. It was supposed to be me. It's in my genes. And so I really got into nutritional therapy, and I studied how our nutrients, they feed our cells. And that's what I say to my students. You have to look at food as, is this going to go kick the crap out of my cells, or is it going to nourish them? Is it going to keep and suppress those genes that I have in me? Is it going to keep that cancer gene suppressed, or is it going to turn it on? And so an exercise is the same way. I mean, it's the whole wellness side of things. So I uploaded a questionnaire both in the challenge tracker and in the Facebook group here, and it's thinking ahead. So really thinking ahead, asking those questions, and really spending a little bit of time to think and look at what your schedule's like. And this is pretty much, I've really just been hitting the exercise side of this initially, but you can apply that to the nutrition side as well. So you could even do that questionnaire as it pertains to your exercise, and then also do it as it pertains to your nutrition. It is you are on this continuum. So I was in the airport and I didn't have a lot of what I considered healthy choices, but even when I'm looking at my choices, there are some that are better than others. So you have to be forgiving of yourself. If this is all that I have to choose from right now, then that's what I'm going to do. And not be an all or nothing, and not beat yourself up, but stop for a minute and think, could I make a better choice? This isn't the best choice for me right now, but could I make a better choice? And those are some of the things that will help you as far as gaining consistency. That really is the key here, is gaining consistency, and then you can start to explore different areas and see what the role of exercise plays. The role of exercise, Suzanne is watching this right now, and the role of exercise Suzanne I could bring her in and she could talk about some stuff right now, because she trains for, she does runs, endurance is her thing. Endurance is her thing. So when she's got a race coming up, that's what the role of exercise becomes. Training. It becomes my goal of time, my goal of finishing, my goal of whatever her goal is as far as that date. When that is over, Suzanne doesn't quit exercising, but the role of exercise becomes, maybe it goes back to, I want to be healthy, I want to do this, I want to get stronger. Maybe the role means I'm going to get a better time on the next race that I do. So it's whether it's prevention or maintenance or whatever it is, get connected and know that if you're feeling that exercise isn't playing a big role in your life, then take a little time to see, why not? Why is it not? What benefits of regular exercise why is it not important? Why are you putting it on the back burner? Because we need to figure out that, it really does need to play a bigger role in your life, because this is important to you. So you just need to get more connected with your why, and where it falls in. This was a little longer than I was hoping. They're always longer than I'm hoping. I think I'm just gonna get in there and get her done. Thank you for watching. I can see myself in here. Man, I'm scraggly. That's okay. My husband loves me. I don't need to impress anybody, do I? I'm going to upload this. Thank you, Suzanne, for hanging in here and watching the whole thing. I leave again tomorrow for Phoenix. I will be doing some other lives, and actually I might even bring in a little guest, or an important guest, important person to me, that can maybe help us out as well. And I hope that you had a wonderful Labor Day, and I love the comments that people made about the weekend. Was it something where you were getting started, or you're just finishing off that vacation time? And we had, for all the challenges that we had this last weekend, we also had just amazing family time, and it was wonderful. And so the bad, she was discharged from the hospital. She went to the hospital yesterday, and she was discharged this morning to make sure that she could fly home, and she's been cleared, and she's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out, and so it's all good. But that was an obstacle, and we overcame it. Thanks again.